Child. Anyway, so
hello, everyone. My name is Shaden, and I am CPR certified as of today. Well, are you certified if you just passed, or are you certified once you get the certificate?
Baby, you certified. Did you pass?
I got 100.
Do you know what to do?
I got 100 after he told me to go sit back down and re-answer some questions.
He said, I circled a couple. I would review those.
He marked them. He said, go read those 4 one more time.
Meanwhile, it was true or false.
It was actually, I circled them at the wrong number. Like you circle D and then you look and it's you meant to put that for 23, but it's actually on 22.
Yeah, and then you did. Yeah,
sure. And then it messed up everything. Don't do that.
So you're CPR certified. How does it feel? Do you feel ready?
I do. I feel like right now, someone else saying, I feel like at any moment, if someone drops to the ground, I just hope it's not me. Because I don't think anyone else I know is CPR certified. That's around me.
No one else. You're the only one. And if you're on a plane and someone says, is there a doctor? You can stand up, essentially. Like anything that they need, you could probably do.
I'm like, well, I'm not a doctor, but I'm CPR certified and I'm a community health worker and I can do your paperwork.
And then the person will sit up from where they passed out and be like, oh, that's perfect, actually.
Right, actually, because I have some files I have to get notarized. Like, correct. I'll fax them right on over for you, sir. Sit down, have a seat.
Thank you. And then the airplane will just continue on its merry path. That's perfect. My name is Amira, and I am what you would describe as fake hungry, which essentially just means that I'm not hungry, but I feel like my energy is waning because I haven't eaten since noon, and when I ate, it was giving nibble. So I'm like not hungry, but I know I should eat, if that makes sense.
I hate Scorpios.
Me too, actually. That's so funny you mentioned
that. You know how I feel about that. Y'all love not eating. Y'all love
and you know what? I was thinking about you because this weekend I was trying to figure, or not weekend, whenever I was trying to figure out what I want to eat, and it was taking so long. And the other person was like, "Oh, but I really want something good." And I'm like, "Girl, the longer you stay here trying to figure out what's the best, you have 1,000 choices. You're never going to be satisfied. Just pick one and let's just go." The longer you take to decide the food, the more disappointed you're going to be if it's not good. If you decide in 5 minutes and you only looked at 2 places, you're going to be like, well, it's all right. If you looked at 30 places and you pick one and it's not good, you're going to be devastated.
Right, you're going to feel like it was a waste of time. That's true.
It was a waste of time. It was a waste of money. And this is why I'm like, girl, just put it on the plate.
But when you do all that looking into it and then you go and it's amazing food, you feel so much gratification.
I have never experienced that because after we took so long, I'm thinking my life's about to get changed. My world's about to get rocked. And that never is the case.
Mama, we could literally throw you bread.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Because before I got on, I said, let me just eat a little something. And what did I have? 2 pieces of swirl bread. And I said, now this is good.
Yum, full.
I need to put this on my grocery
this much
list.
In days. Like, we know.
I'm like, I need to get this again. Put that on the grocery list. This
okay.
Bread is it.
Someone please give her something to
Somebody
eat.
Please feed her. She's
what
hungry.
Did you say so she can drink?
Jaden, where are we?
Someone's pulling on your puppet. Sorry. We are on a puppet show that we like to call Child. Anyway, with Jaden and Amira.
The best to ever do it. We're back. We're better than ever. We're better than we were yesterday, at least I can say. We took a little distance by Emily King from each other only because, baby, I was trying to eat. When it was time to record, I said, Jaden, I'm actually out of town. I'm trying to eat. So we couldn't record. So actually, sometimes I do eat at appropriate times. But we're back now.
And that appropriate time is during the podcast. You see,
correct.
You
so
see,
an inappropriate time.
Y'all see. Okay.
But my thing is, I can't live like you, Jaden, no shade, because you will be like, we'll finish recording at 9:30. All right, let me go ahead and get me something to eat. Baby, not full dinner. And it'd be
Uh,
full dinner.
it a full one at that. 5 courses coming straight out, starting at 9:30. Absolutely, and I have no shame
I
because
wish. I'm
because
jealous.
Mama, I can't. I don't know how y'all do it. Because not only do y'all not eat, y'all then eat like pests. Like
Birds.
y'all
Oh, Pest was
y'all
crazy. Pest
pest
was a
was a little
lot.
crazy,
I was
but
a little
I
aggressive.
felt like it was relevant. Like y'all don't eat like pests, you eat like vermin.
You could say
So,
birds. No,
like
no,
rodents,
not a
like
critter.
a rabbit.
You're disrespectful. Well,
Y'all
rabbit, I can
y'all
take. I'll be
literally
rabbit.
y'all literally go reach into your fridge, grab one carrot, say howdy, and then nibble, and y'all end up fully asleep in your what's it called? Sarcophagus. Wait, what's it called? Like
Oh my gosh, coffin, sarcophagus.
yeah,
And
upside
you know what's
down. Like
crazy? Oh, so we're bats. Oh, you're disrespectful. I was literally yesterday debating on like maybe I'll just have a cucumber. Why would I do that?
like
Why would I do that?
okay.
That's not
But the thing is,
okay.
like it's not even like problematic in my head
It
because
is.
every Scorpio I know does the same thing. Like my mother, my people I am cool with, people I'm just meeting. I'm like, oh, what are you having for lunch? Oh, I'm not having lunch today. What? And it's like, what are you having for dinner? I bought just this one little thing of mac and cheese. Like, wait, huh? Like, wait,
Aside.
do you know?
Oh, girl, not aside.
And you know, y'all love just a side.
I'm in
But I'm like,
Boston market like 2 sides.
well, I think you're a little different because you're
No,
vegetarian.
this
So
was
like,
always my truth. Even when I used to
oh,
get down with the get down. Yeah, yeah.
and y'all be down and y'all be cool with it. Like, and I'm just like,
Ideal.
I'm like, what do you want to eat? I had me a few crackers earlier. I'm good.
Nuh-uh, no. Chips, maybe. Crackers.
I had 5 raisins. I'm all right. I'm probably just gonna go to bed. Like,
I had an
Mama, you
almond in
don't
there.
have to eat sleep. You don't have to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I do it. Like I said, I'm jealous of this lifestyle. Like I used to when I was younger growing up and I was at the mercy of whenever my parents cooked, it was giving, come on downstairs, the chicken is finally done. Dad, it's 12 o'clock midnight. But I ate that chicken because I was a child.
Right.
Now it's like after we hang up this podcast, I'm like, I know that I need to eat something. So, and I'm so embarrassed to admit this. I was literally thinking about going down there, having a couple chips with a little bit of dip.
And that was gonna
I'm
be it. That was gonna
so
sustain you for the rest of
embarrassed.
the evening.
No, like I'm genuinely embarrassed because I fully planned when I opened my refrigerator before I started recording. I was like, oh, that's good. Okay, I got a little bit of chips, a little bit of dip. It's embarrassing. Literally, Pediasure is sitting right next to me.
Waiting for you.
Grow and gain with immune support. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll have this for my immune support, and I'll have me a little bit of chip, a little bit of dip. What, Jaden?
And
Please,
and
please.
and that be the same chip and dip that you bought on Sunday that you have been slowly just eating
Yes.
off of.
Oh my gosh, that was so me in college, baby. Me and that salsa, we was
that
tight.
that one container because you know this is all you got for the next week and a half because that
Hello.
uh the direct deposit don't hit in, so you're gonna eat that one thing day after day, meal after
And
meal.
you know that like, oh, it's payday. I'm about to be eating lobster, baby.
Mm-mm.
It don't matter. The meal's the
That
same
means a
to
new
me.
tub. That means you're starting
Hello,
back
new
over.
salsa.
Where's Whole Foods?
New
Like,
chips, please. We got paid today. We eating good. That means maybe the chip has a hint of lime. I don't know. Let's get into our moments of the week. Besides being attacked, this is where Jane and I share things this week. Maybe last week because we didn't record together. The week before, or maybe even in the future, that made us say like, "Yo." Anyway, well, not yo. Anyway, that's not the name of the show. Child. Anyway. And Jaden, I think that,
please go.
Okay, fine. I'll go first. I mean, if you're gonna beg me, so my moment of the week, and it's kind of after having this conversation, it's like, girl, and what was really going on. So I'm on my lunch break at work,
Mhm.
and I did
What were we doing?
right. I was reading. I was reading. I was reading with headphones on in the lobby of my
Mhm.
job. I did already
Which
eat.
means there was nothing
Uh,
playing.
no, nothing playing. Nothing. Baby, they weren't even turned on because I'm like,
Okay.
I'm trying to give the illusion of straight up busy, busy, busy. I did eat, just for everyone's awareness. Does it matter? No. Was there an apple core sitting in front of me? Yeah. So why did this lady wave me down? Because I have on headphones, so I can't hear her. LOL, I absolutely heard her footsteps. Hi. I look up. Yeah, what's going on? Are you on your lunch break? You don't see this apple core in front of me? Do I wear over ear headphones when I'm sitting at my desk working? Do I read
You had to make that
books?
distinction.
I did. Because the AirPods, we might can do it. But these, Jaden, please, like at
No,
my
like
desk,
that's
that would
ridiculous.
be ridiculous. That would be absurd. Um, so she's like, "Oh, are you on your lunch break?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I didn't even do my usual because I know the girls like, "Oh, the Scorpios, they work all the time." Because part of me wanted to potentially be like, "Why? What's up?" But I just stuck to my guns and was like, "Yeah." Oh, okay, I'll come back down. You knew I was on my lunch break when you asked, but you thought you were gonna get the other me that would have hit you with a yeah, why, what's up? Now, Jaden, you know this. The other people might not know, but it's because I was reading a book and I got a quota. I got deadlines for these books. Had I just been sitting there, I might have helped her. But my
Mhm.
moment of the week is essentially just people really trying to get over. And something about me is I don't even want to talk to you before I clock in. I really don't even want to say good morning until I clock in.
Okay.
I really don't. So that's the moment of the week. It's pretty simple. It happened literally today. I have so many other things that happened, but we only get a short amount of time to record these episodes. And after last week, I learned that maybe I'm the problem. So I decided to share a short one.
Mama, mine went past yours, just so you know.
How,
Um,
Jaden,
I think it
please.
was. I think it actually pushed like 33.
And I was talking fast, though. I was
You
trying to get under that limit, baby.
baby, you was talking so fast. I was like, should I put this in slow mo? Because I don't know if the girls are going to hear her. She's literally
just
talking a mile a minute.
just do the closed captions. I had to make I had to get it under 30 minutes.
Mama, you could have put a commercial on there. That's how short that thing was. It was like it was clearly for daytime and not for HBO. Um,
Absolutely.
you could still have said why, whatever, why, what's up, blah blah blah, because no action has to follow that, and it allows you to know what you're about to walk back into come clock in. But dock her. Okay, once I clock back in, I'm getting my 2 minutes sitting back down because you're not going to interrupt my
Oh, I
lunch.
did.
Okay, you're not
Yeah.
going to interrupt my lunch time, no matter what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm getting a press. I don't care if I'm standing with chalk in my hand at the whiteboard still. If I'm on lunch, leave me alone.
Hello.
So
I
I'm going to dock you to the 2 minutes that you took to ask me what am I on lunch, though you knew. I'm going to take an extra minute
knew.
for idiocy.
Mm.
You knew. I'm going to take an extra minute. So that's 3. Then I'm going to ask you why what, because I'm going to prolong this. Okay,
Oh,
you talked to me for 10 minutes now. Sounds good. Clocking in, coming back here, finishing chapter. What are we
correct.
talking about?
Correct. Oh no, after this, I made the mistake of sitting in the lobby very publicly. After this, I went back into my office, glass door, doesn't even matter. Headphones off, reading. The phone rang. I said, "Let me clock in." Clocked in, answered the phone. It was 30 seconds. I said, "Let me finish this book. Let me just
Okay.
read until cuz they don't know any different." I mean, allegedly. But they
Right.
don't I told you when I left for lunch, so you shouldn't even expect me to be back ready to work. I'm not online. I'm not on Teams right now. Mm-mm.
What are you reading right now?
Basically, I'm reading a collection of short stories, LOL, called Milk, Blood,
I know you're
Heat.
Bob.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm kind of a one-trick pony. Just kidding. I have range. I'm
You
reading
do.
a. Thank you. It's called Milk, Blood, Heat by Dantel W. Manes. It's pretty good so far. We'll talk about it later. Would I recommend it? I don't know. I can't publicly denounce this Black woman's book, but we'll chat.
Are you a what's your reading style? Like
Quickly.
we know you be skimming, but I mean like you'll read one book all the way through and then start the next book.
Sometimes, so before I was reading this, I was reading a thickie, like 700-page book, a part of a longer series, and I didn't want to carry that to work. So while I was doing that, I was reading a different book at work. So
Okay.
if I can read multiple books at once, I'm trying to meet this quota, so I will, if necessary,
Right.
read multiple books at once. Not my preference, but what's your style? You do more than one at once, right?
I'm trying to not. Like I'm trying to just finish one book and then move to the next one.
Did you finish
finish
Heavy?
that book and move to
Did you finish Heavy?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Oh, I think
I finished it.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I had texted it.
Okay.
And I asked all this because based on our own conversations, but the listeners, mamas, I'm back to my shenanigans, y'all. And this will lead me into my moment of the week. But just know I'm back to my shenanigans. And
Oh no.
I have several books.
I was just about to say, girl, not you.
Several, mama.
10.
The
10.
I went returning Heavy. And another book I haven't. It was more like a picture book. Because what I decided I was going to start doing was getting a book to read, an art book, and then maybe like another art book or a poetry book kind of thing to just have like 3 things that I can always like bounce around with. I returned one of the art books and Heavy, which was a reading like book, and I picked up 4 more books, and none of them are picture books. I did keep one picture book from my previous round because it's like I forget what it's called, but it's like a big Black artist's book, and it's like looking through different Black photographers, stuff like that. So that I can keep investing into and looking at people and whatnot. But I wanted to share what books that are on the docket for the girls to see. Welcome to my book haul. So we're gonna start off with Amira has a book club. None of you are invited.
No.
You are not, but I am. So be jealous. And when I was over at Amira's house during the last book club session, she made me give her my Nikki Giovanni book, which was interesting because the book was referenced in the book that we were reading. So it was just like, stacked layered.
I finished it, by the way. It was really good.
Oh, sorry. That just kind of gagged me. I'm not gonna lie.
Quick.
And she gave me, she let me walk away with.
Borrow is the word we're gonna use.
Kindred by Octavia Butler, because we want to read
Parable of
Sower. I don't know, child. And then she also gave me for color
borrow.
Sorry,
you keep saying gave.
Sorry, it's just the word. Don't get caught up on it. For color girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. But I got home and was told this is Amira's copy. I was told by my mother that she actually had a copy of said book, and I did not know that. And which is cool because I think her copy came out or was printed in I think a year or so after the book came out.
Oh, nice.
So I thought it was cool, and then to see like the difference between the books, like the older one was like a taller.
It's upside down, baby.
Yeah,
He
the
didn't
older
read
one
it.
is like a taller book, though the pages literally have the same amount of information. Like I don't get that, but whatever.
They trying to save
Um,
paper. That's why.
okay, these days. But something I want to point out. Let's see how much each one cost.
Uh-oh.
The older one was $5.95, and the new one was $9. Like I said, the same content is on both, but this black woman will allow it. So the book I'm
But
actually reading, but she didn't price it. So
no, did she get it?
true. The book I'm currently reading is called Taming It Down. It's a novel by Kim McLaren. I love the covers. The cover made me get.
Why does that feel so familiar? Let me look that up.
Yeah, look it up, girl. Look it up.
Did you?
Like I said, that's a novel. This book is called Fashion Killer: How Hip Hop Revolutionized High Fashion by Salmaya Krishna. It'll be in the link below. And I thought this is right up my alley. Y'all know how I get down with fashion, and then y'all know how I love black people. So
How much is it? How much was it? How much is it if you were to get it for yourself?
I'm like, Mama, this is the library. $28.99. You know, she's a
because you need you. I was gonna say you need that. Like you kind of need it
she's a
for
hard
your
copy.
collection.
Yeah, that's very me.
Yeah.
Speaking of also very me.
Uh-oh.
So go ahead.
And I was just gonna say we were at the book club. We were talking about books that we needed to have in our collection, and I think that's a book.
That is a part of the menu.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Be a Revolution: How Everyday People Are Fighting Oppression and Changing the World, and How You Can Too by Ijeoma Oluo. And what's interesting is it's so big, but it's more like I can read it in sections if I wanted to. Like the first section is about abolition, the second section is about, and it's research based, that kind of thing, not necessarily so narrative. And it's like I have to be. But what's interesting, during lockdown, I bought her book, So You Want to Talk About Race, and I have that in my room. And then when I saw this at the library, I said, Mama, I need you. Since you keep asking, ask one time. Since you keep berating me about how much these cost, this one's $27. And then y'all know.
Oh, that red.
This is not my mother, but this is my aunt. My mother's Tony. I cannot lie. But my aunt, Miss Bell, I have Salvation, Black People in Love. And I am so ready to get into this book. I'm really trying to force myself not to like dive head in because I know she's going to be a rough read.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I have another book actually, but I know she's going to be a rough read, and I'm ready,
Jaden,
but I'm not.
You're not gonna make it. Like, I'm sorry, just based off those selections, keep looking at those pictures, baby.
Yeah.
Just keep looking at those. Where's the fun book?
So my other book is called Rooted in the Earth, reclaiming the African American environmental heritage. And it's really just talking about like through the several forms of oppression, how we've lost such connection with the earth, and the misconception that Black people aren't nature people, or people who enjoy nature, when it's like, actually, do y'all know why we were taken in the first place? Like they came to Africa and was like, oh wow, y'all know how to farm and do agriculture. Let's take you somewhere. And that's kind of how things set off. But those are the books I have. I know it's a lot, and that's why I had to just let y'all know that I was back to my shenanigans. And most of y'all do not care at all, but I just had to let you know how extreme things were at this moment in time. And speaking of the library, my actual moment of the week, because we're still here, was, and this mine is quick as well, showing up to sewing class at the library, and it was packed. And my prior sewing classes, it's maybe been like 4 of us, 3 of us, 2 of us, just me one time. Like, sometimes gotten all the way down to just me and the instructor, or like 4 of us in there. I started having my coworker come with me and whatnot.
Oh.
Or not with me, but like, because she had a sewing machine, and she was like, "Oh, you do sewing classes?" And I said, "Girl, they free, just come." And then she started to come in, and that was cool. I came there yesterday, and not only is it packed, it's all children.
Uh-uh.
And mind you, the library has one machine. I brought my own. My coworker brings her own.
Okay.
So I'm there. There's not even a seat for me. I had to like sit at like a dresser, really, like a whatever. And we made little pocket. Oh, that's too far. Change, like a little wallet, like a cloth wallet. It was very interesting, very cute, very like, I would love to try and make it again and do like a better job actually. But super cute, super fun. While we were there, I finished sewing my little thing. Somebody was like, "Are you done with that?" I said, I would have said, "This is mine." I said, "But you can use it." She was like, "Oh no, it's okay." I said, "No, it's fine. Like, I just want to let you know," because they had to sign a waiver for the children. They had to sign a waiver for the children just in case something happened. I'm like, basically, if something happened, this ain't covered in the library, but baby, no shade. So then I'm helping them do it, whatever. And then I'm being talked to like I'm one of the instructors. And I'm like, now hold on. Something ain't right here. Why are y'all saying y'all gonna help us clean up? Y'all gonna help us do the do y'all need help? Y'all, this her thing. This ain't me. And then this one of the other kids who was there comes up. He's like, can I do? I said, sure, come on. So then I put it down and I tell him to lift his foot. Why is he still going? I'm like, these ain't my kids. These ain't my kids. I don't know these children. You can't cuss them out. Because I want it to be like, when I tell you to lift your foot up, I mean then. I don't mean at 2 minutes later. I mean, when I'm saying lift your foot up, lift it up. But I'm trying to be and because like when he's really not lifting it up and it's past the end and it's sewing into itself, and I'm like, if you damage it, someone's going to have to pay for this.
How old was he?
And probably like 8, 7. But like I would hold the fabric for him and he would just have to put his only task, his only role excuse me, was putting his foot on the pedal. So the fact that your foot was on the pedal, and then you're gonna look to your mom and say sewing is boring. Stop playing with me.
Get out of here.
Get up. I should be like, get up.
You should have pushed him. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, you play it. You're wasting my thread. You're wasting my battery life. I know it was plugged into the wall, but still.
Then, now that I'm thinking about it, because of his negligence, I was trying to like get the extra thread from underneath the needle because it's jammed in there. I go to touch the thread on top. Why is there now blood on the thread? Because I'm bleeding because my finger hit the needle.
Yuck.
But then I was like, a design with like your blood in it, but not like actual blood, like some kind of fake blood, like not Lil Nas X type of thing. But like,
I was literally just about to say that.
I know. But like, imagine the story there, like blood infused into the threading of your garment, like outside of like the actual labor and the blood that is shed to create your garments.
Yeah.
I mean, like putting that into the design concept. So if there's a line that comes out with blood on the line in the seams, just know it started here.
It did, but even still, I think that it could be commentary on the labor of like fast
Oh, and that's what
fashion.
it would be. That's what it
And
would
that's
be.
brilliant. I mean, it could literally be red dye, which is that's what it would be, baby. We don't want your blood.
Yeah.
But that'd be such a cool idea, kind of uncomfortable, but that's what it should be. Let's start a larger conversation because I think slavery and indentured servitude in these warehouses that is uncomfortable. So we should talk about it. We should be uncomfortable talking about it.
We should and rank it.
Speaking of, now it's time for the. Were you done?
I was.
Bless. Oh, not bless, but now I'm saying that
No,
maybe we're
bless.
both the problem. Um,
Yes.
now it's
Mainly
time for
me.
the catch. Definitely mainly you. Now it's time for the catch. First things first, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Chow Anyway Pod, on TikTok at Chow Anyway the podcast, and all of the girls that are following us on TikTok. You are brave. We see you. You are
Girl,
beautiful.
we
You are
see you in the
patient. You
desert. We
are
appreciate you.
resilient. Yeah. You're doing the hard work. You're doing what it takes, really, and we appreciate you. The rest of you keep up. Try to get on that wavelength. So the first thing is not necessarily a like headline story, but rather I think maybe a timely concept. Jaden, wouldn't
Hmm.
you say?
Yeah. This came onto our, we'll say, radar when right before hitting record or start recording, whatever, I show Amira a video of someone, a high schooler, I'm assuming, um, going to prom with a fish bowl sewn onto the stomach of their dress. And while I have nothing to say about little children, after I just dragged that child for using my throat, but I came in contact with that child.
That
It's
that
different.
that was necessary.
Yeah, he needed that. Um, this child, I don't know. Hmm. But I think over the past few weeks has been prom season. I forget when
Mhm.
prom season kind of starts. It's like this is the last weeks of April. So
Yeah,
like April,
sometimes like April, May, spring,
yeah,
summer. Yeah.
please. And the constant conversation every year, Twitter blows up about prom and how terrible people think they look or how overdone it is. And while I do think sometimes it is drawn out, and majority of the time it's pretty much drawn out, especially I'm talking about Black people here, just so it's clear. Because that's literally all I'm talking about.
We don't know what
I
they're
know
doing.
other proms, I know they do not treat it the same way Black people treat prom. And I
No.
think there's something in that could be like delve into,
Oh, for sure.
because how often do Black youth get a moment like this to dress up how they want to like have such a special day dedicated to them, and
Mhm.
to like not even an achievement, but just like this day. Like the day is already coming, whether you got A's. Well, I know sometimes you can't go to prom if you are failing, whatever. But it's
No.
like you can have a C and go to prom. So like it's not like the top 10 events or like the whatever. Like we are all able to go. You just got to pay, baby. And like the culture around prom is so interesting. The prom king, prom queen. What are you wearing? Are you getting it custom made? Coming to school with like your hair covered, or leaving school early because you got your appointments, and like stuff that is so exciting. Your family's coming over, everyone's taking pictures, different cars that you want to drive. Like these things are all so exciting. And I think we miss the mark when we
Oh,
judge youth instead of honoring our like culture. Like I think this is the part of African American culture that we don't necessarily pay the utmost respect to. Because the
mm.
thing is, our parents was doing the same thing. Like our parents, if
Oh,
you go
yeah.
look at their pictures, they was styled out. Like they was doing a new hairstyle that they never did before, or saw
Bangs.
something
Mhm.
okay, like pick something fresh off the wall that they never had done before, a special crimp that they've been waiting to do, or like a new piece that they put on top. Like this has always kind of been our thing, but I think about how many other times in Black youth, specifically in their lives, in our lives, that we had a chance to explore these, this hallmark of fashion or this hallmark of like ceremony, like besides like a graduation or something. Prom is something sacred to the Black community. Like we don't get things outside. Our families ain't throwing banquets. Like those things aren't really happening within our families or within our communities or in our neighborhoods. We have things like prom or like a sweet 16 and even those, they're not going to be what we see on MTV, like, or we saw on MTV. I know the girls don't. Some of y'all don't know what that is.
Our listeners, they're in that age bracket.
I know. Y'all know. But some of y'all do.
Some of you.
And I just think it's one of those moments where, as Black people, we aren't acknowledging our investment into our culture. And it's one of those like pass on, look down at youth things that I think is weird. Like I remember having a conversation with whoever, and they were talking like ski mask and whatnot, like the whatever mask that the youth is wearing these days, like are banned in so many cities and states, whatever. And they started complaining like, I don't get why they do it. And I had to share. It was my family. I had to share like. I said at one point we had something that people older than us didn't agree that we wore. This is their thing. I'm like, this is their thing. So who are we to do what we were mad at our parents for doing, or like mad at our grandparents for doing, or mad at the older generation for doing to us, because we're wearing the thing that's popular, that our favorite artists are wearing, that are like the people we are in community with, the people we look up to are wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that's going, but it's just like a.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going either, but I will say that
you didn't have to, and you didn't have to, because you weren't going to do that originally. But when I said it, you had to. You felt like you did.
I was gonna go along with you, but then I'm like, he was going a little hard about the starvation portion of the episode when I'm eating chips. I feel like I need to come back a little. But no, yeah, it's cyclical where there's nothing new under the sun. Like our problems are the same problems our parents had, to greater extent and maybe more specific to whatever technology or societal advances have been made. Like for example, our parents probably weren't thinking like, what sneakers should I wear to prom? Because maybe their style was more like a different shoe or whatever. I am screaming a little bit because you started this conversation by talking about the girl with the fishbowl in her belly,
because
and I think
there are lines. No, it was supposed to go a different way based on that comment.
But then you caught it.
That's what led us into the conversation around prom, and that's why I said I have thoughts about it. Because do I think that we do too much? Yes, but who am I to draw the line? Like, because. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to draw the line? People were able to put this together. People did what they saw in their vision. Like, how am I going to sit there and tell someone that their art isn't like art to them? Or the creation that they thought of isn't worthy of sharing. Like, I don't think I have authority to do so. So while I can have my opinion about said thing for sure, I don't necessarily think we should as a collective, and it's well past her and her fishbowl, because I think that is in a special realm of its own of people who do the extreme. And she was solo. I didn't think she had a date. I didn't see her in a picture with someone else. And I think you
hello, her date's right there.
Yeah. And I don't know if the fish was alive, but it did not look like enough water.
Baby,
it had to not be enough water, and I hope not, because she was shaking that fish. Like she was spinning, like she was spinning and posing, and the water was like tidal waving back and forth, and it was just. But she's eating. Like, I'm sorry, the creativity is there, because when that's on a runway, what then? Like when it's co-opted and put into high fashion spaces and put luxury across it, then we will look at that differently. We will, of course, the execution will be different because craftsmanship and all these other things.
Right.
But a black child had this creative thought and idea, and I don't think we should spend so much time pointing, laughing, and embarrassing. Versus
No.
okay, that was interesting. What else can we do? Because the vision is there. Like
Oh yeah.
the imagination is there. It's present. And I think these are the times where we pull in. Like I think a lot of times we have a tend to castrate and laugh and push out and mock and ostracize someone when like these are the talents that we keep tweeting about that we need. Like these are the talents that we keep saying are missing in the world, and they're sitting here creating outlandish things. Like this is something Lady Gaga will wear.
Oh, for sure.
Lady Gaga wore a meat dress. If one of these girls went to prom in a meat dress prior to Lady Gaga, this would not be the same You see what I'm saying? Like I just think we miss the mark as people when we don't honor this. Like okay, it's ridiculous, but fashion can be humorous. Like I don't think she did it to be like cold or like I'm so kind. Like no, I'm pretty sure she knew it would be a gag and that people would probably giggle and laugh, but she thought she ate and she did eat. Technically, she ate, but
Technically, yeah.
the scale of eatery, like where she lands on that scale, we may not align, but she did eat.
Yeah, she ate in the general sense. If we get down to the subjective, it's whatever. But like you said at the top, she is a child and we are adults. So I will keep here's what I'll say. I think that my only issue with prom culture, the only issue, this is a lie, I might have others later, but my big issue is that I think there's not enough emphasis, or it seems like it, even like working in a high school setting, it seems like there's not as much emphasis on actually enjoying the night, but rather everything pre.
Yes.
You look amazing, but yes, fashion, but it also has to be function because you're supposed to dance. Like you're supposed to be having fun, sweating and doing the most. And our parents, those pictures when they had it laid to the side and looking all
at least
slick,
they
left looking crazy.
Yes.
You should not be leaving prom looking pristine.
Right.
And I think that's my only thing is that like more and more, and even like when we were younger too, like people probably dance. Actually, I know for a fact that they dance less than when our parents went to prom and our aunts and uncles went to prom. It was giving dance party. So my only thing is that like I want there to be, oh my gosh, I love this. I love the pump and circumstance, the whole walkout music. You've got a whole send off theme. The fact that there's even that expression, send off, like my students from last year invited me to their send off. I'm like, baby, are you going to war? No? Cool. Whatever. It's okay. But then it's also like, I can bet a couple dollars that you're probably not even going to dance. And it's like, okay, what was it all for then? Like, I understand it, but the memory, I don't know how other people's memories work, but to me, it stays in my memory longer, like enjoying the night versus like feeling good and sitting down the whole time. But I don't know, because maybe that send off it sends all the synapses to the brain as if you were dancing the whole night. But I want it to be both. The fish is only not going to work. It's only not going to work for me because you cannot dance with that unless the fish is fake.
And unless it comes off, which I hope it does.
Hopefully.
Which takes that whole outfit to a whole new level.
That'd be pretty cool.
I will also say that I don't think this is a prom only issue. Like I don't think a lot of the youth, or even back when we were growing up, are dancing at parties in general. Like we was dancing at parties, but it was mainly parties that all your friends were there. Versus like a prom, a homecoming, or whatever. I don't think they're dancing regardless. So then to flip that and put more emphasis on the look and the gag. Yeah. Okay, because guess what y'all not gonna do at that party? It's not. You're not gonna dance anyway, so you might as well go all out.
That's true.
But I'm like, girl, and I think prom has always been off because it's never going to be like what you have grown up thinking it would be like. And And I think of it like any special day, really. Like, think of your
Mhm.
birthday that you had to plan, or think of people talk about their wedding, or like these are not their favorite days. Even though the day is about them, even though the day was getting dressed and flaunting and doing all that, then they talk about it afterwards, and they're like, "Y'all was pissed off the entire time. Like the entire evening was awful. I didn't get to try
Yeah.
the cake. I didn't get to do this. I paid all this money, and that's the only thing I really have an issue about with prom is the cost, because these are babies, and it's only a day, and then it's only a day. It's not even that fun of a day. Like, the day is stressful. You get into arguments with all your family. You better hope you and your date didn't get into an argument. You better hope your ride's on time. You better like, there's so many things that can go wrong, and everything that goes wrong will piss you off. Like, you don't like your makeup. You don't like the way your hair came out. You don't like the way this dress is fitting you today. You now don't feel well, or like the suit, then the measurements ain't right, or you got to go pick up a last minute suit because the suit wasn't, like, several things go wrong, and it's a very expensive day for a high schooler. But I think, and like after it, you don't think about it. Like,
And you can never wear that dress.
I do not think about prom at all,
No.
ever in life, until prom season. But not even like, I don't think about my own prom.
No.
But would I take anything back from that day? Probably not.
I'll probably eat more. I'm gonna be real with you.
Girl, same problem.
Oh, I know it sounds like a lie when I say it. Okay, whatever, but it's true. I would
But
probably
the food's not even that good.
take more
once you eat it.
pictures. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
other than like your classic, like, be more present. But other than like the
Prom's kinda
actual
awkward.
logistics, yeah, it can be. I mean, I think that similarly to the whole picking a meal, of like, the longer you take, the more emphasis you put on it being great, the more disappointed you're gonna be. Same thing
Yeah,
with
we're back to
everything.
that.
Exactly. See how it all comes full circle. So for me, my prom experience, baby, when I say I did not care, I mean, that probably isn't surprising to the listeners that I didn't care. Like, I truly didn't care. I probably tried on 2 or maybe 3 dresses, and I picked the one based off of my mother's budget. I really didn't care. I just was like, okay, this is the color we're wearing. Hair, do whatever you want to do with it. Makeup, do whatever you want to do. I was blessed to be able to wear flats because my date was the same height as me, so it never gave heel, which I know what the girls are thinking. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, blah, 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 whatever. But I just didn't care. So there was no pressure to do anything. There was no pressure to enjoy it. There was no pressure. I didn't feel like I had any shoe in to win any prom queen, because I just was like, I wasn't pressed about it. So it was like,
won.
it was fine. Like, it was a good time, and I wasn't awkward. I wasn't stressed. I didn't care. So I had fun. There was literally
Right.
zero pressure. The year before, I was dating a senior, and it was so much pressure from his mom and all these. I'm like, so then it was a terrible time. Like,
Right.
it was so terrible because it was like, you were so pressed to get this jacket made, and it never. And let's talk about not eating. And I can say it because I was a teen when I witnessed it. So my opinion is from when I was a teen. It didn't eat. You did all
Right.
that for what? Like, you spent. I don't see where the money went. So I think that I agree with you
I'm about
about.
to change my name on here to Prom King because I won. No shade.
That
No
doesn't surprise
shade.
me. No, that doesn't surprise me though. Yeah. Never mind. I was about to say something so shady. I was really about to say something so shady.
You know I want to hear what it was going to be.
Oh, it was just gonna be something to the effect of like, yeah, the girlies always win. Something
Oh, the gays always win Prom King.
they do, and it's like, they're with their girl. They're there with their girlfriend.
Yeah, I was there with my best
Yep.
friend, so you really know. So you really know. Like, and she went prom queen in elementary school.
Oh my! Wait, you guys went together, and then you just happened to both win together? No, that's perfect. That's so. But that's the thing. Like, when your friend wins, it's so exciting. It just got to be somebody you like, of course. Otherwise, it's like, I didn't care.
Otherwise,
And it's got to
the
be
group chat
somebody
blowing
black.
up.
I really don't care about nothing, but I don't even
Well,
have
you
to
know, my
like
school
you.
that was predominantly black.
My school is predominantly black too, but they find a way.
They sure do.
Because
They sure
Baby, I'm
do.
like, wait, how are you in homecoming court? There's only how many
Ain't this
percent of y'all?
1 out of 275? How did this happen?
How did Johnny? And I shouldn't have said Johnny because there was an actual John on the homecoming court. But
Oh well.
anyway, yeah, congratulations on being prom king. But also the good thing is that it just so happens you didn't peak there. Like it happens so often when people peak at the prom. Because they put so much pressure on it. And that's my only concern. I get both sentiments. When is the next time you're going to be able to celebrate something so major and be celebrated? Maybe you don't have any plans post high school to go to college. Maybe you don't have any big career plans. Maybe you don't plan on ever getting married. So this could be your big moment. But then it also was like, okay, what else can we do? Let's just throw a beautiful birthday party then. Because spending so much money on prom, I think you and I
all
may be
those
in the
things are
same
just
boat.
a day. Like
I think we're in the same boat
anything
about
you
that.
do is just a day.
It's just one
so
day.
It's like spending so much money is really ridiculous. But I also understand like taking the time to splurge.
It.
Like
I
think
get
there's a
it.
certain line, and I don't think you need a horse-drawn carriage.
No.
But even if you get something custom made, like I'm not mad at that. Like I'm never mad at a custom look for prom. Cute, fun, but when it starts reaching like $800, when it starts reaching wedding numbers for your look, it's kind of out there.
I think it depends.
I know the girls. I know, yeah. Sometimes
no, for the horse, not for the look.
So, next thing.
No, wait. One last thing. It depends for the horse because if you are in a small suburban, very low key country New Jersey town, that's cute. We're so near Dutch country. It's fine. If you're in the like for some reason in the middle of New York City or like you're in a baby, we're in the metropolitan area. The horse is stinking. We ain't never seen a horse before. Get it out of here. Where are you gonna put that horse? How is the horse gonna get home?
Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse.
Hello. I just think that we draw the line at live animals being incorporated into the look.
Right. Unless it's your dog. I feel like pets may be cute.
No,
like
the look. In the look. I'm talking about the fish in the dress, not in your vicinity. I was about to say, I'm sorry, is the dog getting strapped to her back? What are you talking about?
I mean, like you pose before during your send off.
Oh no, that's
cute. You dress the dog up to match, and it's like
that's cute. That's cute.
Like that'd be cute.
I love it though because I think that this, and then we can move on. I think that the putting more emphasis on the beginning has really inspired, forced, and encouraged the people that come in suits or the people who aren't wearing dresses to step it up because it's been a while since I've seen just a regular black suit to prom, and I'm very grateful.
Step it up, and I'm honestly super grateful.
I'm happy about it. If that's the only thing that changed, then I'm glad.
Yeah, it was worth it. If I have to sit through a dead fish rocking back and forth on someone's stomach, I can do it. If I have to deal with that, I'm happy.
You're done.
I'm able to.
You're done. You're done. You're done. You messed it up. You're done. If it means I'll never see a black and white suit again, seeing a dead fish swinging across the girl's stomach is worth it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Take that, AI. Take that and put my voice to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of voice, the young people, college
I was wondering what you
age,
want to attach it to.
You got it. I got it. Speaking of voice, young people college age are using their voice to peacefully protest around their campuses, specifically like Columbia's campus. I think Yale's campus.
Yeah.
A bunch of college. They're protesting. They have like tents
UCLA
and like
just
camp
did it.
set up. Yeah. Exactly.
They're like
coast. Inspired, and it just starts this movement. And of course, it's not met with like excited administration. I think it's two things. First of all, it's exceptional. It's so exciting to see people truly risk it all for somebody else. Like this level of empathy and like care, consideration for other people, I think we as a society feared that we were missing. As what we saw during the pandemic, it was giving every man for himself. We literally don't care about our neighbors from America specifically. So to see
Right.
Americans specifically standing up in this way and risking their college careers, their jobs, like I don't know if you saw those guys protesting at Google, like at their job at
Mm-hmm.
Google, and then they were
All got
escorted out by the
fired,
police. Yeah, to risk
along with
it
other
all.
bystanders. Other bystanders also got fired who weren't even a part of said protest.
No, baby, how'd
And
I
the
get in it?
teachers at Columbia did a walkout,
I love
which was
that.
very like the solidarity has really been inspiring, like truly. And there's been even like the self-immolation has not stopped.
Mm,
There's been more and more
mm-hmm,
recently, like 3 in the past like month.
mm.
And just the constant fighting and pressing on for the cause of freeing Palestine and the many other places that also need to be freed. It's what I want to say, however, is this is supposed to amplify what's
Oh,
going
for
on
sure.
in Gaza. And I want to make sure that we are aware and in conversation around that and making sure like to keep highlighting that like this is a protest for what's going on in Gaza. Like this what will happen and what has happened so quickly is that this has become the main
The bigger story.
conversation, the
Right.
bigger story at the time when it's like this is supposed to be pushing us towards paying attention over there. But of course we're dealing with fascism and imperialism in such ways that our own institutions are so invested in Israel that like their divestment is actually divesting from building weapons. And like
Yeah.
in a college, so many colleges at that, so many colleges have such investment in the militarization of another country. That should frighten everyone. Like the fact that that's why they're protesting and trying to, and one of the things that they're asking is the divestment of funds to Israel, Columbia University. Isn't that one of the Ivy League?
Probably. I think so.
Sure.
Ours was
A lot of
Ivy,
the other
so
very but just the I and the V, not the
hello.
uh
Poison Ivy. Yeah.
okay, literally. Um but just to acknowledge that they are so invested in imperialism, in expanding the American empire is literally absurd. Like it's literally there's not even words that I can even make up to describe
Mm-hmm.
what this actually feels like. And so to see people putting their livelihoods and take be taken to jail and brought charges upon and being expelled and losing their job, like to see the repercussions of this and having to sit with that, like having to sit with them doing this and being so impactful with what they're doing and the cause, like, and then to be reminded
Mm-hmm.
of the cause and to see like this has been going on for how long and we're having to amplify it more and more, and I just want to keep amplifying more. Someone literally burned themselves to death. Like we're going to have to keep amplifying this more and more because y'all, it's not understood how serious we mean free Palestine. Like from the river to like it's not understood how
Hello.
serious these statements are, that this understanding is to this, what this philosophy is, because I think once there is a divestment, it would have to be acknowledged how much we're all impacted. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we are all impacted in such a way, like Palestine is the magnifying glass for what's happening to all of us constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fight for them is the fight for us. And to see
Sure.
people fully ready to put their lives in line for lives that are lost is really like inspiring. And it pushes us, and I hope it pushes all of us into like we could do something. Like, okay, you aren't in Gaza helping, like you aren't able to deliver aid, but there's something you can do. There's something right now that you can do that you can do to help, that you can do to provide information, to give resources, to give listening ears. Like there's so much we can do, and our solidarity has to be strong, because that's the only way. Like our solidarity has to be stronger than theirs, and that's the only way it's going to be possible for us to push forward.
I think that one of the things that is so also good to see, because I know you were saying like, let's keep the main story, and aside from what tales the news spins, I think that unlike other attempts at protest or other attempts at solidarity, this one is different because there are no gimmicks. Like there's no let's make it cute. Like in 16 when everybody was wearing the pink hats to the protest, and then the big story becomes like, oh, we got pink hats, and then it become a cute little gimmick, and it's like CEO, nevertheless she persisted, and there's like cute. It became very much like a
The white
she
feminism of
power.
protest.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And that, in like the white feminization of it all, so quick, so easy. The main plot of the movie was absolutely lost, because
Right.
I mean we literally lost, but we all did. I mean, I wasn't, whatever, but
Right.
I'm lying, I was there. But this one, there's no gimmicks. Like you're not going to see a picture from any event, protest specifically, where everybody is like in a matching cute two-piece tracksuit,
because it's not about
people
that.
aren't going to be wearing their hair like cute ways. Everybody is red in the face, yelling, peacefully protesting. Okay, where they're chanting, they've got megaphones, they've got masks and signs that say exactly what it is. Like I also haven't seen, no, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, I've not even seen any like cutesy catchy signage either. Like I remember then, and for like for the most recent strikes or protests that I can think of right now, like the WGA and like any Black Lives Matter protest, it's always like, it seems like it's like a poster competition a little bit, like who's got the most clever sign, like, and there'd even be Instagram pages dedicated to finding the most clever sign. I haven't seen really anything clever,
because it's about the message.
Nothing
and the
comedy.
message has to be clear.
Exactly. And I think that the people are doing such an excellent job of keeping the message clear, and everybody is consistent and unified in what that exact message is. Everybody's after the same exact goal: free Palestine. That's it. That's it. Other places where the message could be clear, women's rights, but then it's just so many branches. But in this one, I just think it's awesome to see that it has stayed clear. And like I said, besides what the news decides to talk about, of course, if a bunch of kids get expelled from an Ivy League school, they're going to have to talk about it, but they're not going to want to talk about what they're actually doing. So they're going to have to talk about another way to spin it. So that's why, it's harder to keep the main story in that way. But I think that the people on the ground are doing an excellent job at keeping the main focus.
And the students are being invited to speak, like at these different, because no, I mean, like journalists aren't, but yes, they're being invited to speak on different talk shows, whatever, and they are able to go present themselves there and say what they need to say, like and refocus the conversation back to like, this is about freeing Palestine. Like, there's no need to even discuss. Yes, we know what they're doing currently is a very reactionary, very conservative, very all these things, but this is about freeing Palestine. And even like the comedy comes into their protests when they are getting requirements for them, and like it was like no tents are allowed on the school grounds, whatever. They were walking around holding the tents in the air. Like, that's hilarious. That is funny, but it's still like you're still out here screaming free Palestine. And I remember a few weeks or whatever when I think we had talked about the boycott going on, and I had said like the actual divestment that we saw have an actual effect was not in America. Like it was in other, especially Middle Eastern country. Like it was over there more than it was anywhere else. So this being so huge because honestly, it happens at colleges first a lot of the time. Like a lot of universities in revolution and in like yeah, I'll just say revolution and in like this and conflict in general or war or genocide and the injustices going on, it's often colleges where these things are sparked. And Colombia had a Palestinian like sector. So and it also awakens the reality that institutions in America are nothing past thought and book and text. Like when it comes time, and that was a big critique that people had of educators, writers, or like anthology writers, and it's like, yeah, y'all sit in your towers writing about the conditions of the world, not having to live in said world or not having to be at the front of said world seeing what's actually going on. Like it can't all be anthology and it can't all be just thoughts and ideas and whatnot. It's different when you're there seeing what's going on and doing something about it while it's happening. Like y'all are gonna wait to write about this moment after the moment. When it's like the moment's happening right now, we can have live things from y'all currently. And it's like the fact that that's not occurring and it's a constant rewriting of history in real time, it's absolutely like abhorrent. Like I don't understand how we aren't more concerned. I think we should be even more concerned because it's so blatant at this point. They had a secret meeting to ban TikTok. Like that's wild to me. Like a secret meeting to give aid to Ukraine, to Israel, and sneak in a TikTok ban. What? Mind you, the TikTok ban is a whole violation of the Constitution that y'all love to throw around.
Yeah,
a whole violation, like an entire violation. And then you're also introducing new laws around like privacy and trying to get access to people's information. Like y'all are trying over and over, and y'all want to ban TikTok because these are the methods of us spreading this information. Y'all didn't like Twitter for that same reason when Twitter first happened, because we were spreading information. That's why Elandra took it over and has now made it almost not impossible, but has made it very hard to have accurate data, to have fact check data. They were disabling accounts of activists and people who had information and news sources. Like it was a clear attack on what's going on. So TikTok, because it's not owned by America, baby, and no shade, but because it's not owned by America, we have a freedom that we have not had on these other apps. So we are able to talk about communism openly. We're able to talk about feminism openly. We're able to talk about the genocide openly. And like, sure, the algorithm it be pushing, but we are able to have a place to share that information. So they doing everything they can, child.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think maybe what you're getting at, I don't know, is the lack of censorship. I mean, there is definitely some censorship and community guidelines on TikTok, but like it's way less than on TikTok, or I'm sorry, than on Twitter and Facebook, because they're literally owned by the people that are also in these pockets. Right. It's actually like scary isn't even the word. Dystopian might be the word for what we're experiencing right now. It's very much every book that talks about what the future will be like, and it is, once again, scary is not the right word, but it's very scary and dystopian. Like the fact that it's so obvious, it's not even a subtle funding of this, and people keep saying war, like it's not a war.
And it was the thing, and that's what this current time has woken up. Like it is no longer a private matter. It's no longer a hidden sending of funds. It's obvious, it's apparent, and it's out in the open, and
they don't care.
And the downfall of America is coming regardless. Like it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. And it is important that we constantly remind ourselves it's a matter of when. And where will you be? What will you be doing when the time comes, are you ready? Do you have the things in order? Do you have the things in place? I can say no. It's a no for me personally.
Oh, it's definitely
I'm
no for
still
me.
trying to get the knowledge of everything going on, and I just think this what's going on now. Honestly, you being TikTok, Gen Z is up. Like, no, that Gen Z
But
is
it's not
outside
even
next
about
day.
it's not even about the literal act. It's about the implications and everything that comes along with it. You know, like
Right.
I don't even like it's not specific like, oh, we're banning TikTok. Like, that's just like the headline of it, but there's so much more that goes into it. It's the same way like in court cases when it's like you pull up another case to get your case dropped because it's like, oh, well, in 1977 when it was Candy versus Mike, we voted this way or whatever. So it's like once you do one thing
Fuck
wrong, in
Candy.
my opinion, listen, I looked over and that's all I saw. When you do one thing in a trifling way legally, then it makes it easier to do other. And trifling isn't the right word. I mean, it's so much more than trifling. When you do something this disastrously, this disgusting, inhumane, and it's legal, then it makes it so much easier, and it just opens the door for every other inhumane, disgusting, despicable action to just be legalized. It's fine. And we already know just because something is legal doesn't mean that it's okay. But I think
No,
that I
they're
just
making it
don't
illegal to be
know,
homeless.
which is it's just so obvious. That's to me it's obvious that you criminalize something and then you get the people to do this
Be
labor
that thing.
for free.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's literally that's exactly what happens. Okay, yeah, no, slavery is no longer illegal or no longer legal, but it's so easy to become a slave again, essentially. You know, that's what is it, the 13th Amendment? It's so easy. All you got to do is if you're in jail, then basically you can be a slave. So it's just so obvious whenever they criminalize something that's so specific to different demographics that they view as less than, and then they put them in jail. Baby, you want us to be slaves again.
But and it's so
It's before you even go, it's stupid because
it
it
is.
costs so much money to to keep these prisons running.
They know
Baby, if
that.
you took even a quarter of what it took to imprison this person and just straight up gave it to them in cash, they might not have to be homeless anymore. I guarantee they
No,
wouldn't have to be homeless.
but they know this. This is
Oh yeah, it's
an
so obvious.
active. These are active decisions to force an active like
Mhm.
response. But capitalists are so
And there it
hell
is.
bent on being. I know. Hour 12. I had to. Capitalists are so hell bent on producing and finding any ways to make as much money as possible with as little output of finances as possible, that they are leading themselves into their own like their own revolution. Like that's what has always been the dichotomy. Like you're leading us into the revolution of you and the murdering of you because you are when there's no class under you and it's all poor people, you don't think we can take you? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Personally, I don't get it. Though, of course, we have the police state and we have like the military and we have all those things. But I think at some point they are going to have to realize that they're killing their cousins, their brothers, their aunts. Like, it's going to come to a point where you're going to have to kill the person that you left at home to go across the sea. Like, that's going to have to happen. Of course, they're going to put you in the opposite of where you live. So it's like, oh,
Maybe.
you're white and you're white and affluent, we're gonna put you right in the hood, child. Or you black and poor, we're gonna put you right with the white folks, child. Like that's exactly what's going to happen. Um, but they are leading us into their own destruction, and they can't see it because the greed, it's too blinding, I guess, and they think that we don't see what they're doing. Like, you think you can secretly send billions of dollars to uh Israel and
Anywhere.
we won't know?
You
Anywhere,
cannot
baby.
send that money anywhere, baby.
He
First
was
of
like,
all, we're looking for that
we want a
money.
ceasefire. We want a ceasefire, and then pulls up Cash App. Like it don't work like that, baby.
It
It
doesn't.
don't. Robin
What
that.
is
It don't.
what is What's that expression that's something about like don't ever let the left hand know what the right hand is doing or something like this?
Yes.
It's literally that. The girl with the silk press will be talking to she'll be briefing us on something, and then the old white man will be signing the checks. You don't think we know y'all are from the same office? What is the story that we're really gonna go with here? To me, I want to know what has to happen. What point do we have to get to where everybody, obviously, except for those who are contributing to this, like everybody at the top, whatever, every regular class person, every single one is like, well, wait a minute, versus what we have going on now, where it's like, oh, I stand with my president. I stand. Blue lives matter. Blah blah blah. Because like I was saying, the thing about every man for himself. Like there's a wave of empathy, but I'm trying to figure out what has to happen. How much farther do we have to go down before everybody is like, maybe I should care about what happens, even if it doesn't affect
Right.
me, even though it does affect me because I'm not in the top 1%.
But we never will.
Yes, you're white and you make probably $100,000, but you're still
It's
at
still
the
capitalism
bottom.
is coming for you. And I don't think people understand that aspect of it. Like you can't look down on someone because when you look up, you'll realize you're closer to them than
Oh, for
you are
sure.
to them. And it's like capitalism is all consuming in a way, and it's like a slow. I wish I had an analogy for it. It's like water filling up in a room, and it's like, or filling up in a house. You may be able to get upstairs, but if you cannot get out, the water will come. Like it's coming up and it's going to fill this entire house regardless of what you do. And at some point, it's going to get you, baby. It may not get you today, it may not get you tomorrow, but it will get you. And not even to put, fear monger for them.
I
Because
mean, it's
it's so
scary
much,
though.
it is scary. And it should be scary enough to get you to fight or flight, like to fight or flight. Like that's what the response needs to be. Fight. Let me make sure that's or freeze, which is going to lead into solution-based conversation. Um, a general strike, people, is when the general public decides not to spend money, go to work, really be a part of the economy in any way, shape, or form. And what's interesting, I forget the exact number, and I encourage everyone to go look it up when they have the free time. When the eclipse happened,
Mm-hmm.
it was an article that came out about how much money the economy lost during the few minutes of people going outside to look at the eclipse, or like the few hours, whatever. Like during that time, the economy lost so much money. Imagine if we did that for a week, like a day. And I'll give y'all something to go follow, and I'll add it to my thinking later just to reiterate it. But General Strike, I think it's US on Instagram. It's a page about potentially having a general strike, and one of the YouTubers I watch, people always complain like you can't do a strike so fast, you can't do a general strike within a day, and it's like, which is 100% true. You cannot get millions of people to sign up to do a strike within the next day. That's just not feasible, whatever. And it's a historical, like the Montgomery bus boycott. I don't know what through the telling of it, through history and through class and teaching, was this thing happened to Rosa. The next day, they started protesting. All of
Right.
Montgomery was protesting,
They just
but
showed up.
not only which we know Rosa was not the first person to do this thing, but she was put in place specifically. She was an activist. Rosa Parks was an activist, and
Mm-hmm.
she was put in place specifically because she fit this stereotype of an older black woman who seemed a little, who just got off of work, whatever. She was an activist big time, and she was put in place to do said thing, to start said boycott. Like this
Mm-hmm.
had already been going on for, I think, months and probably a year,
Mm-hmm.
like talking about this thing was about to happen,
It's
everyone be
planned.
prepared. And it
Mm-hmm.
was planned out, and then when it happened, they were able to see results of that. With a general strike, we don't even need the entire population. We need 3% of the population to do a general strike that is effective. I think that's 11 million people or something like that. So imagine everyone listening right now told 10 people, and then had those 10 people tell another 10 people, and we have made a date for I'll say July 4th because it's a special day to America. July 4th, 2026. We're going to do a general strike, and every day we try to get more people involved in general strike. We all started posting about it. We all started making it a huge deal. We will be able to get there, but the problem is, in our brain, we think change is supposed to happen tomorrow. Change does not work like that. Active change. I mean, like, if we are trying to change a system, we have to construct a plan, construct a plan, follow said plan. Like the BDS boycotts, there was plans. There were different targets. And there was a certain group. We do not want you to spend money on at all. There's some try not to spend it, but we understand if you can't. There were some that's like, we're finding out active information, share the information about, like, and there's different things. And as we started seeing slowly, people started divesting from Israel. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because it was planned, it was thought out, it was executed, and it was persistent, and it was honored, and it was like how we were saying before, the message did not change. It's about free Palestine. It's about this, and this is what we're going to keep saying. We're going to keep hammering it, because the Republicans, the reason that they have whatever out there is because they keep saying the same thing over and over again. Like, no matter if it's right, wrong, if they've been debunked, whatever, they're going to go back on the next time they get to speak. They're going to say the same exact thing. Next time they get to speak, they're going to say the same exact thing. And what it's doing is it's forcing their fan bases to memorize it. Because when you think about it, logically, it never makes sense. But they're starting to memorize it and regurgitate it and believe it and understand it. So if we as a collective started to push these same things towards a general strike, I'm not even saying you got to get, like, you got to be ready to fight tomorrow. Like, that's what I'm saying. A general strike is actually the opposite. It's like lockdown intentionally.
When is this? So this is an Instagram page, you're saying?
It's a general Instagram page. I'm looking at the actual name.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to figure out what the date is. And I'm guessing that they just want just thinking here. Are we talking a no call, no show? We talking PTO? What are we talking?
I think you can use PTO. Yeah, General Strike US. Decentralized General Strike Network. We need 3.5% or 11 million Americans to succeed. And they just keep showing information. Of course, they do updates about what's going on currently.
What are they? What is the ask?
Let me see. The girl thought me having it. What is it? No strike. It seems like it's in a video, and I can't play that right.
And that's the baby. Let's get bits. You know, the girls are not watching videos.
No,
I'm at work. Just tell me.
Or maybe be on the slide, but I also don't have that information right now.
Yeah, we'll post later.
Yeah, because on TikTok.
They'll never see it. No. I told you I love a strike. I love a strike. I love a walkout. The people at my job, our team is like 8 people. If we walked out, cute. I would love if I worked at a school right now. Ooh, could you imagine walking out with all your students? First of all, students are going to walk out regardless. They don't care what the message is because they want to walk out. So that's actually the
students
perfect
do love to
place.
Walk out.
High school, I mean. I can't speak to college. Well, no, actually, yeah, because college, while it's such a great place for the free thinkers and it really encourages that, you've also got a lot of followers there. A lot of cardboard cutouts, but high school, baby, we're walking out. For what?
We're walking out. Child,
I'm following you.
Spread. You can say that at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then the walkout's at 8:30, and the entire school will be out.
The whole school walking out because I saw from the window people were walking out. Let me go see what's going on out there.
We're walking out. Walks out.
We're walking out, and then when you get there, it's like, well, why did you guys walk out? And then it's like, oh, we don't know.
They wouldn't let us fight in the bathroom. Like,
yeah. They said no more hot Cheetos before 8:30. I'm excited for the coming of a potential strike. I do need it to be organized though, because remember when they were supposed to be that blackout day? like during the pandemic or something, and it was just like so random. It was like some random person just talked about it, and then it was like, or even Blackout Day on TikTok, and it's like, I saw
Please
3
don't.
people talking about this.
No, I thought you were talking about when he was posting the black square.
Girl. You know you did
2020
not
was
think,
a performative year.
and
Like
that's why I
2020 was
wasn't
about
even
the
gonna
performance.
bring that up. It was the year of the
But you want to know
performance.
something? 2020 really was like about clarity, like about seeing 2020 vision. Like no shade, like thinking of it now and like retrospect, since 2020, we have had to deal with the facts. Like we have had to deal with the truth and the honesty about what has been going on in the world. And I think that's kind of like that ain't no shade.
I mean, yeah, it was just hit after
It was
hit
terrible.
after
No.
hit.
And it was constantly being hit. But it's like honestly,
I mean, how though?
but like,
Yeah, since you're right, that was really a year for like realizing things. Mhm,
by force.
correct. And some people didn't get it. Some people did not realize a thing.
No.
And I have this theory, concept, whatever you want to call it, about like describing a personality, and it's shorthand, and I'm hoping that it makes sense. It's obviously, it insinuates a lot, it implies a lot, but it's the thing is just like, they give me the vibe of a pre-2020 white person. To me, that says a lot.
It
Like if
does say a
someone's like,
lot.
"Oh, well, what's wrong with her? Why don't you like her? She seemed nice." Yeah, she's got a pre-2020 vibe. That just basically means you
That was us
you didn't realize anything.
saying that was us saying who each other were based on.
Mm-mm,
Wait,
mm-mm.
that was us.
No, when you drag me, you're gonna drag me again.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to say what I said, but we just for the listeners to know, to give more context to what you're saying now.
I can't stand you.
I know. We had at book club, like it's a meeting at the book club. We had said who the person was based on who we think would write them as a character.
Mm-hmm.
So for just so say Beyonce, we'll say like
That's hard.
a little girl and her mom wrote Beyonce to whatever.
Right.
That's what it was.
To aspire
Ours
to
is
greater heights.
Yeah. Ours is a little more
It was a read.
specific. Some of them we were at book club, so some of them were reads, but they were true. And
easy for you to say because you agreed with yours.
Because it was true, but everyone else agreed with yours. You didn't.
And that's how I know it wasn't true. Because I didn't agree. At my own house. I'm like, and that's all of our time for today. You guys literally kicked out right after that.
We did get kicked out right after that. But actually, DM us who wrote you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I was written by a Black woman who only reads books by men.
You think? Not the
because it's like, but has never met a man in her life.
You're like her. What she thinks a man is like. That's funny.
Yes.
Very much a child drawing an alien. This is what I imagine an alien would be like.
This is what I think it would be like.
Okay, so Jaden's
but it's really just
womanisms.
It's a bunch of womanism just attached to masculinity and not hypermasculine. To misogyny and patriarchy.
Yikes. I'm gonna save my read for post pod because I don't want to risk.
It's a cute, fun one.
I don't want to read you because I don't want to get read. I was written by a Black all-star queen goddess mother who had never been to Earth. And she's like, what could a person be? First of all, you're following me because you know it's true. What is humanity? What is a person? I'm just so I'm so everything. I'm so nothing. I'm so great. So bad. I'm multifaceted. I'm layered like an onion. I think, in all
And
honesty,
so being honest now, starting now.
starting now,
Okay.
maybe I was written by a black, and I am going to continue to start that
I
way
know.
because some girls would
Mhm.
like to push back.
Mm-hmm.
I was written by a black. This person, it's giving pseudonym. They are, we don't know what they are. They're
So
giving
like a bell
behind closed
hooks, like
doors.
a
Yeah. Like we don't know what they look like. We don't know their identity. We don't know much about them except for their works. But we know they're black, or at least they have a black experience because of the way that they write. And they just write in very nuanced way, sometimes very on the nose, but very much giving there's much to be discovered. Hmm.
So like I said, these are
Will we
just examples.
will we buy
And
it?
so
Okay.
we because what it actually is, it's like you think she's black, and that's why the pseudonym is there to fool you, but she's actually a white professor of
Jaden,
Africana studies.
and here's just pissing me off. Right before we got on this podcast, we had a whole discussion, and now it feels like I'm being forced to clock your tay. Let's get the ancestry, girl. You're talking about what she thinks. Let's not get into what is thought.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, we can get into it.
The girls are fighting.
Okay. Please, let's move on.
Let's move on. In all seriousness, be ready for the general strike. Now it's time for Thank Me Later. This is where Jaden and I share things that we're into. Right, I have to move on because I really want to drag you. This is where Jaden and I share things that we're like, oh, we were into this thing. Maybe you'll enjoy this thing too. I didn't do any Thank Me Laters last week. I don't know if you did because I didn't get the chance to listen to your episode
No,
yet.
I didn't.
Yeah. And strangely enough, my Thank Me Laters are from today. So it didn't matter. My Thank Me Laters are two. One is an EP, one is an album. So after listening to Cowboy Carter, I'm like, wait a minute. Once I was released from the shackles of having to listen to it on repeat and I was able to listen to something else, I was like, well, what do I want to listen to? I'm feeling like I want to listen to something new. Let me see what the artists that are featured on Blackbird are about. I already knew Tanner. I already listened to her music, but I'm like, let me get into what the other girls have to offer. Miss Tierra Kennedy, yeah, she's the one. I can't tell you which ooh she did or which ah she did on Blackbird, but she was on it, and she has that was she.
The Blackbird, each line was a different girl. In that one part where it's just a different voice from Beyonce.
Yeah.
Each little part was a different person.
Now wait a minute. I'm gonna have to listen to that again because I thought for sure that was only Tanner.
Only Tanner. And you thought the other girls was in the background. No. There's first of all there's a TikTok about it, but there's also like if you listen again, intentionally understanding that these are different voices, you'll hear them. You'll actually hear like, oh, these are 4 different people singing. Tanner, mind you, Tanner has the last part.
Oh, Tanner is the last part because the last part is the best part.
The last part of the only waiting for this moment. That's Tanner.
Okay.
Each other part is one of the different girls.
I can see that because when I listened to Tierra and Brittany's works, it was giving similar. But I thought it made my imagination. Oh my gosh, I need to re-listen, and I don't know why I would assume it was Tanner. Maybe because her name was first.
Her name was first, so it made it seem like, and then the whole thing sounded like one person. And who would think that one verse would be 4 different people?
Beyonce was like, "I'm gonna give you this one verse, break it up however you want."
Okay, chop it, screw it. I don't care, but this is it.
That's all you're gonna get, and then I'm gonna come back in because you're not getting the last note.
And then y'all are doing the backgrounds. Blackbird.
The fact that Beyonce gets the last note and she comes back after Tanner's is so petty. But
you couldn't let them finish.
I thought when I first heard it, I was like, oh yeah, oh she's back. Okay, she's back. It's okay though. It's okay.
Same thing with Just for Fun.
And that I'll allow. Anyway, Tierra, she has an EP from 2021 or maybe 2019, whatever. It's old. It's quick. It's probably like 16 minutes, maybe. I don't know. It kept looping when I was at work, and I didn't realize it started over until I was like 5 times in. It's really yummy. It's really good. It's country as a genre, but it's not giving yeehaw yeehaw. It's good. Check it out. Check it out. The next one is Brittany Spencer's album called My Stupid Life. This one, I'm gonna be fully transparent. I didn't get to the credits. I didn't get to the end. But what I heard of it was good. And I know that by the time this episode comes out, I will have listened to the whole thing. And the only reason I didn't was because I needed to go back to Tierra's. Something happened and I felt like I needed to go back and revisit it.
Real.
And maybe it's because they sound the same. No shade. That's just very interesting. I did not know that, Jaden. I'm actually really shocked. And now I have to listen to the song again.
It literally shocked me. And if I find a TikTok, I'll send it to you.
Please. That's what I have. What's up?
And you have your book that you're reading that you won't recommend. So, as we heard from last episode, I went to Baby Mother's concert and her album dropped the night of my show. And it has been on repeat ever since. Sleep paralysis. It's not going to be every girl's kind of gag, but it's not. And it's very like different sounds where she's rapping. Like she has a song called Lines, where she's rapping over like a rock beat, and then she has other songs. She said she made the album in London, like a lot of the songs from the album, and it was house beats. Like a lot of the first half, at least, are a lot of house tracks. Then we have some. It's just so good.
Kind of like Rico Nasty, maybe.
Yes, but more underground. I would say, and sonically wise, like it's definitely more.
Like if you're into Rico, you might be into this as well.
Absolutely. And it's like, and one thing I love about Baby Mother is her voice. Like the voice is always going to be, it's so distinct and it's so real. Like, it's only 32 minutes long. So like not longer at all. And just hit after hit to me. Next we have John Doe. I've talked about her plenty in her EP Heavy. Did I ever tell you that Sir made an album called Heavy and the cover looked just the same? And it got addressed recently because she had said like I didn't bring it up about because he had reached out to her saying like I didn't hear about your project. The project is great. My creative director did the direction for this. He was like it was always called Heavy, but the direction for like the cover art was more recent, and then he was trying to like actively do right by her and did not.
Well,
and he was like, oh, I'll say like this was like these certain things I'll honor you, and then when it came time for the interview to do so, it was just half done and half baked. And even said like I would love to do a collab with you, and that's still she was like he still has not responded about that. So very unfortunate.
Yuck.
And so go stream Heavy by John Doe, but also her new EP Nowhere Fast, cute, fun. Destin Conrad makes an appearance on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, great. Love John Doe actually. Next I have Tori by Tori Kelly. I think we talked about this project a little while ago. House music again, from Tori Kelly. People hate that she doesn't just sing gospel music. And I'm like, if y'all want that, y'all can go find that. Like, or if y'all want her old tracks, they're there. Let artists like experiment and try new things because Tori's chewing it. So recently she released her deluxe version of Tori, but it's not Tori Deluxe, it's just lowercase Tori, the first one, and then now it's all uppercase Tori. So this type of Tori Kelly, it should be the most recent thing. Highlight track, Spruce. Love that song. And my friends loved it, so that's how I know it's like it's a good song to put someone onto. And you could play like in any setting because it's not too personal, and it's just like a fun bop. Oh, it's a fun bop. And then the last one is General Strike US. on Instagram. I don't know if they have any other accounts, likely, and if they do, it should be in their bio. But yes, go follow, learn something, look up what a general strike is, see if any have happened, see what it would take for America to do one. Yeah. Do you have anything else? And go read a book. Go to your library and get a book. You don't have to get 8 like me, but definitely go get you a book. It's the
Get
time
you a
for
book.
reading.
Because it's free.
It's so free. And if they don't have a book you want, make them buy it. And you know books are important because when genocides happen, the first thing that they go for is
Burn
the library.
their books.
Yes, and the books. So go read a book.
They ban books
And not
because
just the
they're
self-help.
important.
And I'm not gonna put limitations on your books. I'm like, put that Colin Hoover down.
Help, please.
Put Hoove down. Milk and
Put her
Honey,
down.
put it down.
Oh,
Louis
put
Picard,
her down.
that whole style was stolen from another person. So please find a different author who writes poetry. There's several.
There's a couple. There's a lot.
There's a lot. Find something else. This has been ciao. Anyway,
you can listen to Ciao. Anyway, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
We drop new episodes as often as we can.
Like, share, subscribe, rate and review. Let us know who wrote you as a character.
Please, go stream Tierra EP by Tierra Kennedy, My Super Life by Brittany Spencer, Sleep Paralysis by Baby Mother, Nowhere Fast by John Doe, Tori by Tori Kelly. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Go follow General Strike US on Instagram. Go get some support to the protesters and people being martyred in Gaza and those in Haiti and Hawaii and everywhere else. It's always a good time to learn something, to stay learned, and go support your local prom sender offer for clear skin. Bye.